Hello, everybody. Welcome. Now, 2024 has not started out in a good way. We've had a lot of layoffs in big tech as more and more companies are now prioritizing AI, and they're going on a hiring spree. And unfortunately, what is happening is other sectors are getting impacted. And we've already seen like over 20,000 tech employees have already lost jobs just now in like January itself, according to layoffs.fyi, right? Google and all the big companies, they are cutting back. Same story as in 2023, but more extreme right now. And so this is what I wanted to talk about. And now we're seeing this, right? We can't do anything about it. But what you can do is you can start to future proof yourself. Good news is almost nearly every company is looking for people with AI skills, right? And this is just a recent survey that was done. 96% of companies are looking for workers with AI skills. That's why it's very, very important to future proof yourself. Okay, by getting AI skills, if you're in cybersecurity, if you're in GRC, and that is what I want to talk about in today's video. And you can see that more and more companies are also focusing on AI regulation, AI governance, and AI risk management. And that is the entire point of today's video, which is AI frameworks and regulations. If you're working in cybersecurity and GRC, this is something you need to get a whole like a knowledge of ASAP, because it's going to be a very, very important topic. And that's what I want to focus on. If you're new here, this is my channel. My name is Tamur, and this is my channel, The Cloud Security Guy, where I share cybersecurity career advice and cloud security and AI and all these things. If you're new here, please do like and subscribe to this channel and share this video if you found it useful. Now, so first of all, I just want to make you understand why. Why do we need AI frameworks and regulations, right? What's the whole point of this? So the whole point of this is uh, because you need to standardize how AI systems are being made. There's like people have gone crazy over AI, right? All the companies are racing, and AI systems can introduce all sorts of risks. That's why it's so important to have regulations, to have frameworks and standards to make sure that AI is developed to a minimum baseline of security on ethics, right? The minimum securities standards and risk standards and governance standards. And that's why the companies are able to meet these best practices, right? So the government will put, or the what do you call, some industry sector will put these standards, and then you have to follow. And it's a great thing also. If you're a company that is building these AI systems, what you can do is you can actually invest in learning about these standards and getting yourself compliant to these standards, and customers will actually buy you. It becomes a big competitive advantage. So that's what we're going to talk about. Now let's look at the most common AI standards which are there, and AI frameworks which you should be learning about. The first one is the NIST AI Risk Management Framework. So the NIST, if you're not already familiar, it's a National Institute of Standards and Technology. They released, all these guidelines and best practice standards. And what they have done is they have released a risk management framework after getting a lot of feedback from public sector, from experts, right, to mitigate the risks of AI systems. And this is what it looks like. This is the AI risk management framework. You can just Google it. It's completely available for free. You don't need to like spend the money on it, and go through it, and you'll like it gives you a very, very good understanding of AI risks which are there, right? What is it? First of all, it's voluntary, so it's not mandated. It's not forced that you have to comply with it like PCI DSS, right? It's just a year old, and it was revealed after released after much feedback from the public and the private sector, right? And it gives you a complete framework, and it gives you a lot of flexibility also. So all sorts of companies, it doesn't matter which company you are in, which technology you're using, which vendor you're using, it's completely agnostic. Okay, so it makes it very flexible for any company. So, and it increases trust in AI system. That is the whole point, to make systems reliable. And when it comes to AI, right, by putting things like security, fairness, accountability, all these sorts of things. And it goes into a lot of details into what are the unique risks of AI systems. And like if you're familiar with the NIST CSF, the cybersecurity framework, this is going to become the basis for future frameworks in AI. Whatever NIST releases, usually it becomes an industry benchmark. So it's very, very important. I would definitely recommend you learn it, and you like try to understand it. And this is how it's structured. It's built into two parts. One is like the foundational part, which tells you about AI and what are the risks. And the second one is the core. The core is like this one, what you see. This is the action part of it. So it tells you how to mitigate AI risk, right? You need to create a governance. You need to create a framework like org chart and a governance framework. Then you need to manage risks, right? You need to map them to specific risks. You need to measure them, and then you need to manage them. The NIST framework is very, very like detailed. I could talk about it for like 3 hours. I have a complete course on it on Udemy. Sorry, not trying to market my courses here, but just like, wanted to let you know. But it is a very, very in-depth framework, and definitely I would recommend if you're serious about AI risk management. What else is there? The second one is the EU AI Act. Now, the European Union, they are very, very strict, right? They're very, very strict about data privacy and security. So they are also in the process of releasing the EU AI Act, right? And it's for the safety of AI systems which are based in the EU market, right? And it takes a risk based approach. So it says that there are four types of AI systems, and this is what you have to do. And some are completely banned, you can't use them. And unless it's some very exceptions are given, and it gives you very, very like strict guidelines to follow. And if you're familiar with the GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulation, that was there for privacy. The same way, this is going to become like a framework for AI risk and AI regulations. Okay, most companies across the world, they have adopted things like GDPR. They're going to adopt the same thing, and same thing. It is focused on increasing trust in AI systems, and this is how it looks like. So you have at the top, you have some AI systems which are completely banned. You cannot use them. So forget about mitigating the risk. You cannot use them. Like some things which biometric systems which will track you. The EU is very, very strict about that. The other ones are high risk systems, right? So these are things which you need to have some sort of regulations and security controls put in place. Uh, I think it's called a conformity assessment that they will have to meet like an audit checklist which they have to follow, right, to make sure that they are compliant. And other things like limited risk and low and minimal risk, they will have to follow other obligations like transparency, explaining them, and no obligations like the low and minimal risk systems. You have no obligations about it. So the EU AI Act is very, very complicated. It's very, very dry, but it is something you should understand, especially if you're in the Europe region, in the what do you call that area where the EU regulations are applicable. This is something which is going to have a massive impact both in the EU and outside, because like we've seen with GDPR, these things get copy pasted, and not copy pasted, actually that's the wrong word, not copy pasted, but being used as a template for other sorts of regulations in other countries. Okay, what else is here? The fourth one is the ISO 42001 AI management standard. ISO, if you're familiar, right? They release these international standards. If you're in cybersecurity, you would be familiar with ISO 27001. So similarly, they have released an AI management system standard. Very important. This is not focused on security. It's more based around building trust and efficiency of AI systems, right? Best practices. And they have a separate standard which is not released on AI security. But if your company and you're making AI systems, right, and you want to show to your customers that you have a framework for managing AI risks and responsibility and all sorts of things, this is a great way to get a competitive advantage within the industry. And the last one is the Google SAIF framework, SAFE framework, I guess. So what is this? This is a conceptual framework which Google has made, and it's designed for security professionals. So this is more technical than the other standards. Like Google, if you know, they release some excellent white papers, right? This framework has 6 core elements. And like I said, it focuses on AI model risk management, security, privacy, and it goes more down to the tech level. As you can see here, they have 6 core principles, you can say, like security foundations that make sure that the AI systems, the infrastructure is secure, enhance detection and response, like use AI to improve your incident response capabilities, automate your defenses, put in automation with the help of AI, harmonize the existing security controls to make sure they are aligned with AI. What else is there? Adapting and iterating controls. So you need to continuously test and adapt your existing security controls as the threat landscape is changing. And lastly, contextualize AI risks. Make sure that you're conducting risk assessments around your AI system to make sure that all the business processes that are surrounding your AI, they have risks, right, about data validation, data security. You are managing those. So these were just like four of the frameworks. Now your head might be spinning that where do I start? What do I do? There are so many frameworks, right? So don't worry. I mean, it does get overwhelming at the start simply because AI is such a vast topic, right? But it is. I would definitely recommend you start right away. Understand how these standards work. Take one standard, right, and try to like the NIST or the Google Safe is very small. You can maybe start with that, right? Don't go into the EU AI Act. That's quite dry and very complicated. Honestly speaking, I would not recommend that. and just try to apply it to any AI system which you might be available, which you might be familiar with within your company, so you get a better idea how to apply it, right? There are many trainings and workshops which are there on Udemy, right, around NIST, around the EU AI Act or Google Safe. I was thinking of actually making one, but definitely there are many workshops already available. Understand how they work and attend workshops. Why? Because it's quite important, guys. AI is here, right? AI is here. It's not going away, and it is going to impact your job whether you like it or not. Right now, it is extremely foolish to ignore AI with the impact that is happening. Just remember with the layoffs, and while layoffs are happening, this is quite bad within the tech industry, but they're also going to introduce new sorts of jobs, right? So don't fall behind the market, and make sure that you are up to date. And AI risk management, AI standards, AI frameworks, this is going to be a massive market in the future. All the companies that are using AI systems, they want somebody to come in and assess the risks, make tell them whether the AI systems are compliant or not. So I hope this was useful to you, everybody. Please, if you like this video, please do like and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.